I graduated college back in 2020 and I started my corporate job. I dedicated myself to it and I put a lot of effort to really be able to move up the ladder. I was able to accomplish many things through my time at corporate. However, there was a burning question that kept going from the beginning, which was how would I know I am the best version of myself? Is there other things that I should be going after? Should I develop myself to become an entrepreneur? Should I start my own business? If I started my own business, what would I do? What kind of character would I have or would I need to be able to be successful at running my own business? Those were some of the questions that I was having. And what I'm looking to basically answer through this video or share with you on this video is the first 2 steps that I took to be able to work on myself, to do some self-development. The real question that I was seeking to answer was, I have these huge goals that I want to accomplish, right, in my life. Personal goals, professional goals. I didn't know how I was gonna get them, or I believed at least that staying on the previous path that I was in will take longer to achieve them potentially. I saw that there was a potential of me going my own way, my own route, to be able to accomplish these really big goals that I had, set on myself. Really on this video, again, what I'll share with you is kind of the 2 main steps that I took to be able to build a character, to be able to become the man that I needed to become. As you can guess, the first one is to basically start working on yourself. Every single plane has a set of coordinates that they're aiming to get to, right? If they depart from Miami and they want to get to LA, they know exactly where to go. And that plane would get moved by wind, by different conditions, and the pilot's responsibility is to get back on track. My first pillar of starting my personal development was reading. And so through this video, I'm quickly going to talk about these 3 main books that really had a profound impact in my life. The first one being Atomic Habits. This book was recommended to me by one of my best friends. He had read the book, told me great things about it. And at that time, I was seeking to, again, become somebody else. I knew that my identity needed to change. I needed to build new ways of operating, build new habits, right? And so example was I wanted to be able to wake up early every single day. I wanted to exercise more. Why? Because I knew that I needed to start developing, my side hustle alongside with my corporate job, right? So how could I be able to do both things at the same time? And that was by changing my identity. And that's exactly what I got from that book. Quickly after that, I decided to read Principles by Ray Dalio. And in this book, he basically, breaks down the professional side of things, which he calls work principles, and then the personal side of things, which again are just personal principles, right? And he basically states that anything that you have already faced in the past, you could create a principle from it, right? So that in the future, if that arises again, you know how to confront it. You don't have to think, you don't have to analyze that much because you've already kind of embraced it in the past and you know how to go about it in the future. This book really also set the foundation as to, understanding that if you want to achieve different results than everybody else, if you want to have the things that a lot of people don't have, you kind of have to go against the herd, right? You have to do certain things that no one else is doing. Most people don't start a business because it's hard. It takes time. You have to figure out, it's lonely, all these different things, right? But in the book, it really inspires you to think and say, well, what is the hero's journey? And what do I have to face to be able to get on that journey? What are the challenges that I'm gonna have to go through? What are the struggles that I'm gonna have to go through? Knowing that at the end, there will be a resolution that allows me to achieve what I wanted. The second pillar was basically, seminars and coaching really, right? So for the seminar side of things, I started with the stuff that I could get my hands on for free, such as Jim Brown's Best Year of Your Life, which is on YouTube. It's a 4-hour seminar, which really changed my life. Bob Proctor, and then eventually I landed on Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins has a seminar that's for free, I think a couple of days every January, and this is ever since COVID. And basically, it gives you a taste of the things that he can share with you, the value he can provide. After me attending that, I decided to sign up for my true first seminar, which was Unleash the Power Within, UPW. I attended that, and that's where I basically made the decision to quit my job, create a plan, and get started with it, right? After attending that seminar, I got started with the plan. I was basically, putting things in place, and I was able to figure out somewhat of a map, a roadmap to be able to accomplish what I wanted. Tony Robbins, he says this thing that in order to accomplish things, one of the best things that you could do for yourself is to get leverage. And coaching can give you leverage, right? When you have to tell someone, hey, I'm doing XYZ, or when you have to report to them, if you don't follow through with it, it makes you feel bad, right? And so depending on your personality, I'll say like having a coach, having someone that you talk to frequently could really help to make progress. After 6 months, I decided to contact, the coaching program, and I decided to sign up for it. And I remember for the first 90 days, they look to set goals, right? Like what are the things that we want to accomplish? The first one, which we had set the goal of achieving, $15,000 a month in revenue for the business. After working with the coach, after 90 days, we accomplished exactly that, which was phenomenal. But quickly after, we fell off the cliff, and that 15K per month, we lost a few clients and basically went down to half of that. Well, it allowed me to get a taste for it. We're still working on being able to get that number consistently, right? The second one was quitting my job. And so that became my reality. The process for me became creating a plan to go from a leave of absence, which is basically I was allowed to go for 3 months without a salary and kind of like have a job secure if I needed to go back to my job, and then kind of like transition out of it eventually, right? And that's exactly what happened. So I'll say that was checked. And then the third one, but most importantly, was committing to my now wife. I had been dating my girlfriend at the time for several years, but I was really afraid of commitment. And so doing work on myself, this personal development, like really going deep into myself, reading these books, going through different seminars and resources, allowed me to make that decision. And I am extremely happy that I made it, because out of the three, it was probably the most meaningful one. I'll say we're kind of on track. Lastly, going a little bit beyond professional side of things, this question that I was looking to answer was, what is the meaning? Like, what is my genius? Like, what is my gift? What is it that I am able to share with others that actually is gonna give value to them? I was still looking for the answer to that question. And not too long ago, I read this book here, which was the third one from the 3 books, right? It's called Man's Search for Meaning, and from Viktor Frankl. And basically, allow me to understand things at a different level. There's a quote in it that says, live as if you were living already for the second time, and if you had acted the first time as wrongly as you're about to act now. That was extremely, impactful for me. And it's a tiny book. It's, a couple hundred pages. I think it's, 140 pages. But he shares his story going through the Holocaust and how a man needs to have a bigger purpose, right? To be able to, and by man, I mean man and woman. You need to have a bigger purpose to be able to, wake up every day and feel excited about what you're doing. And you can find out, he explains, by 3 main things, which is by creating something, like your work, for example, finding something or someone, like a loved one. And then third one is embracing difficult moments and finding the joy in the challenging times. So those 3 books, plus the coaching, were all investments that I made on myself, and ultimately they're priceless, and they've had a profound impact in my life. Some free resources here on the books, and then some paid ones in case you're interested. My intention with this is to kind of like share to the younger version of me, to the younger version of Ricky, because I wish I would have started with this sooner. However, I'm happy that I did when I did. Everybody's got their own timing, right? So I hope you enjoy this, and I'll see you on the next one.